Mike Jones here with Ken's. We've got a brand new show for you, and it is Dynamite. My brother Kenny and I own Ken's Stereo Junction, one in Macon and one in Warner Robins. And guess what we love to do? Take care of you. You're going to love this. Let's get inside, check it all out.
Neil George's #1 sight and sound source. Go to Ken's.
All right, in our Macon and our Warner Robins location, 2040 Watson Boulevard in Warner Robins, and then 3695 Mercer University Drive in Macon. I don't ever say those addresses. I hope they're showing on the screen right now. And the idea behind that is you can go into either store, and this display will mimic well. What that means is it'll have head units, it'll have amplifiers, it will have subwoofers, and it'll have speakers that you can demo depending on what you're doing in your car. So as an example, I'll show you, you're seeing a cutaway of a Mustang right now we're doing. He's actually doing everything. He's doing a gigantic system. It's a massive, massive build for us. It'll take another month before I can put it on the infomercial. But as you see, the car is so picture perfect in the flesh, and it just needs the sound to go with the 800 horsepower that it has under the hood. And that's what we do is the custom. Now, the reason I give you all that is to say, whether it be custom or, hey, I just need to buy a radio. I just had a guy come in a Granada, if you remember the Granada. It still has a Jimmy Carter bumper. I'm sure you see a cutaway of it right now. A Jimmy Carter for President bumper. I'm literally on the bumper. I just love this car. We're putting a classic auto sound radio there and 2 speakers. So whether it be a radio and 2 speakers or a big custom build like the Mustang, we got you covered in that area. And the blessing of this is you can come in and get on this display and find what fits your fancy, if that makes sense. Now, in the world of head units, you see we have a SLU. I'm using that word today. This is Pioneer's new AM, FM. This is a double DIN, so you obviously have the larger radio cars like Chevrolet trucks and Honda Accords, stuff like that. But guess what it has? A CD player. Super, super nice. Still has a thumb drive input. It does have Bluetooth, has a 200 watt amp built into it. If you have the old school, like Monte Carlos, the old school Corvettes, and old school Camrys, this is what they call a single DIN. CD player, still has a thumb drive. I'd love it, and a 200 watt amplifier. So you kind of get your fan. And again, for just a couple of $100, you can get a really, really nice radio. When you get into the double DINs with the touch screens, we talk about the large faced radios from 10-inch and 9-inch and 8-inch, all the way down to 7-inch and 6-inch. And these are all going to be all over the place. But another big blessing is Pioneer just came out with a new radio that is AM, FM, Bluetooth, and it has a backup camera input. It has an equalizer built into it. And when I say an equalizer, it has a real EQ. So if I go into here and I want to get into my sound right here, I have an actual EQ where I can set the sound like I choose to set the sound, and it has preset ones built in as well. I love that, and you can change the colors of the radio as well. This is a nice radio, $249 for a double DIN, and it has a 200 watt amp. Now, all of these radios, anywhere from $200 on up to whatever you can stomach, but we'll pick all that out for you and make sure you get the right radio that fits in your vehicle. In the world of sound, listen to this. I want you to hear this. I'm just going to give you a little bit of juice. This is the new Sound Cubed mids and highs right here. Tweeter and a mid-range. It comes with a crossover for $179. Listen to this thing just for a second. Listen. And it's hard for me to give you an idea, through my microphone, but that is incredible sound quality for $179, and depending on which parts you need. But this is how we roll here: is we have $99 speakers all the way up to $1,000 speakers to make sure we fit your budget. But if you can buy something that sounds like that for $179, that is amazing. SoundCube component speakers. Now, in the world of amplifiers, we carry all the best brands from JL Audio to SoundCube to Alpine, Rockford Fosgate, JL, all these guys, big boys. And we have amplifiers anywhere from about $149 and up, depending on what you want to do. We have subwoofer boxes, custom. We have self-powered boxes, by the way. Self-powered boxes. You need to see the 2024 Can-Am that we just did with powered Rockford boxes, one in the front, one in the back. Check this out. All right, 2024 Can-Am Defender Lone Star. And these things, these are obviously made for whatever you want to do. It looks like an apocalypse vehicle to me. But when they come in, sometimes from the factory, they'll put in the roof rack, and you'll see here, this roof rack has 4 of the 8-inch two-ways. It has 2 subs in the rear, shallow mount subs, and it's decent. It's got some pretty lights and all that, but it doesn't have a lot of bottom end. So what this gentleman did is came to us, and I'm going to show you right here. And you've got these seats up under these seats on each of this driver's side. There is a Rockford Fosgate. It's an 8-inch P3, so it's a 500 watt subwoofer, but it's amplified. It has its own amplifier built into it, and it comes in this nice lining that does this. Now, it's not a weatherproof speaker, but this gentleman is not in the mudding side of his Can-Am Lone Star Edition. But it's nice because you see how it fits. We mounted it to the vehicle, and because it has its own amplifier, you don't have to find another place to put stuff. So that being said, when you, at the end of the day, you got to be able to play this thing like you want to play it. Now again, this was loud, but when he brought it in, you have to be able to put the cables in, you got to put in the fuse, you got to be able to tie into this head unit that's mounted up into this roof rack. So there's a lot that goes into that to making sure all the cables are hidden. More importantly, they're weathered. They're ready for you to be out in the elements since it's built for the elements. So let me give you a demo. This is quite amazing. It has got a lot of sound. The bass is good. So we got volume up high, bass still in my chest, and I love that it's so compact. Adding subwoofer to that overhead unit just makes a world of difference when you want to jam out. And some people would say, well, you know, that's a 6 passenger that's made for the woods. He's going to be in the woods. He's just going to be listening to his bass that he got from Ken's. Now, in the world of that, we do a tremendous amount of custom. I'm going to point you this way. And so you're going to see right here, the new addition to the Ken's family is going to be this 2024 Slingshot. These Slingshots are very, very popular. And this is the entry-level model, which I absolutely love. We did do it in automatic, but this thing is right now this is just, if you can say it, this is just the canvas waiting for the artist to do what they do. This is from Capital Cycle, right up the road from us here in Macon. And what they've done is they basically cut us a deal on this to get a brand new one, because so many people buy these. We wanted to be able to do one and show a system. What kind of a system? We're going to do every single thing that will fit, all the way into speaker pods, subwoofers in the back behind the seats. We're going to have speakers here. We're going to do lighting throughout the. We're going to do absolutely everything you can do to this. So when you folks come in the Slingshot, we'll have a demo for you to be able to demo, so you see what you want to do. I'm sure you're seeing cutaways of Slingshots we've been doing over the years, but this is going to be a fantastic one. Let's go back this way. Now, in the realm of subwoofer boxes, we're going to have prefab boxes. Say hey to Carrie. There's Carrie. We're going to have subwoofer boxes that are prefab built. So if you're a do-it-yourself, you can do it this way, or you can do custom. And like I talked to you about the Mustang, we're doing a full custom set there. We have our own Yukon. We're not even close to done yet, but we're doing a big custom system of that, probably one of the most powerful ones we've ever done. Now, I give you all those details to know that you can go into Macon and go into Warner Robins, talk to the Brainiacs, talk to the bigger Brainiacs, which are the installers in the back, and they will do, whether you're doing a Granada with a radio and two or a full-blown Mac Daddy 25,000 watt system, this is what we do, and that is awesome. All right, when you have a 40-year-old house, and I'm hoping I've gotten a cutaway of what this looked like before the folks that do what the folks do got in here and took care of business, this place is stunning. It is beautiful. And with that comes what? I have to have audio and video for my brand new 40-year-old house, if it makes sense to say it that way. Now, ta-da, Ken's to the rescue. Of course, you are talking about real stone. You're talking about mantle. There's a lot that goes into something that's 40 years old, because guess what? They didn't have flat panels 40 years ago, and they didn't have clips, LCR bars 40 years ago. None of this existed, so it wasn't prepared for that. So in that, you have Sony's new 77-inch OLED. This is the best of the best in the picture. I have not seen anything that looks better. This is my first time seeing this particular one, and it's a blessing. Now, we put it on a tilt mount to help keep glare out. You have a porch, you have a couch and everything back here where you want to sit down. This is clips called the RP440. Now, this has a tweeter and a mid-range, a tweeter and a mid-range with two mid-ranges, and another tweeter range. You kind of can see through the mesh. This has all of these speakers built in, 7 to be exact, and it has angles built into the horn. You're saying, why so much detail? When you have a room like this, you may not want big tower speakers, but you may want to have enough room that it will disperse. You have a kitchen area over there and a living area over here. And so they have these flanged horns that shoot air and shoot sound out at 138 degrees to what? To envelop the whole room in sound without having to have speakers on the wall or tower speakers in the back. How does it sound? Well, I'm glad you asked. Let me give you some juice here. Look at this picture. It's just clean highs. And if I move to the back, I have got plenty of sound, but it's not that plenty of sound where I turn it up and turn it down, turn it down. Because of the 7 speakers, I have dialogue, I can hear all of the musical instruments, but it's not so overbearing that I can't sit in the room Listen to that. Wouldn't you like to be there right now? Now, here we are. This is our living room setting, but you got to see this. I got to show you more. I'm going to let you follow me now. Before, this was a screen porch. Keep coming with me. And this screen porch became this amazing sitting area, and it is just fantastic. And yet, ta-da, here we go again, 65-inch Sony. Now, the blessing of this with these bars right here is they have MusicCast, which Sonos and MusicCast allows us to do what we do when we want to use our phones for music. So this can be a zone by itself for watching TV or for listening to music. So let's just get around to something where you can hear it. Now, this particular bar by Yamaha, listen how clear that is. So nice. Has a built-in patented technology called Clear Voice. So many people out there say, I can't hear the dialogue. Yamaha has fixed that with a device called Clear Voice. They have a patent on it that is in every piece that they make, that it makes dialogue shoot 3 decibels louder than the ambient noise, and it works very, very well. You see how the voice is so much more amped than the ambient noise. And that goes down to these 3 speakers right here. Let me give you a little more. Listen to this. And there's my biggest point there is, you say, well, that's just something basic. But that's the #1 complaint when people are doing audio video systems is that my voice is not loud. I turn it up and I turn it down. I turn it up and I turn it down. And then going back to the music you see. In other words, this thing adapts well to that. So at the end of the day, this is something we plan. So when you buy a 40-year-old house that's kind of a 40-year-old almost a house, and then you have folks that want to come in here and make it a proper living space. And this is so, I wish I could show you all the land that's out here. It's incredible. The idea is now I've got my 65-inch, my MusicCast bar with Clear Voice. Come with me this way. You walk up in here, watch your step there, David. And then you walk into this room and you got your 77-inch OLED with the clip speakers. You can take both of these and merge them together and just jam out to some good old 80s disco, because I'm an 80s disco baby. So how do you make all of this happen? Well, the way you make this happen is, there's my phone number. You call me or text me, and I or Kurt or one of the Brainiacs will come out and we'll design a system, whether you're tearing down a house and starting brand new, whether you're retrofitting like we did that loft last month, or you're doing a big gigantic theater, security cameras, all that. We do all that from scratch, ground zero, or we retrofit where you're living now. There's the phone number. The estimate is free. Best brands, on-site service, on-site training, and Ken's. This is what we do. All right, in the world of flat panel TVs, they are ever changing. Let me tell you something that's so funny is when I was younger, when my dad owned the company, we'd have new TVs and they would change about every 18 to 20 months. So a year and a half would go by before a new TV. And if you've ever had one of our Sony tube TVs, you know how much them babies weigh. But the fact is that now they change quite literally every 4 months. There's a new technology or a new model or something coming out that's bigger and better. And I remember even saying 5 years ago, how will they make TVs look better than they do now? Well, it has gotten better by 10 times. And the world of that is going to be Sony, Samsung, and LG. We do more Sony and Samsung than anything else. And we are the tech support for that. So what that means is I have my own techs that do that, 2 technicians, Kurt and Brad. And that's what they do in the world of how do I support if there's a problem and I don't have to ship it off to California and go through all that mess. None of that happens with us. Being family owned, that's a big blessing is we make all the adjustments and we don't answer to the manufacturer if there's ever a problem. The blessing of that in the world of problems is Samsung has less than 4% of all of their electronics have an issue on the flat panel side. Sony has less than 3%. So those two are the upper tier of anything you can do. Size-wise, anywhere from 32s all the way down to the 85 at the end. Normally, I can show you a 98, but we sell out of every 98. Speaking of 98, I'm sure you've seen a cutaway right now from a beginning to the end. I just took a little staggered pictures of this house we just did with a 98. And if you look at these pictures, it goes from the, wall mount and the out of the box. I'm sure you're seeing that right now. And at the end, you'll see one of my lead technicians, Jarvis, with his hand out because the dog is life size on the 98-inch picture, as you see it now. And it just turned out so perfect for her. She was so happy to be able to, she said, I'm having a movie night tonight. And that's what we do is you can buy it here and do it yourself, or with a 98-inch TV, you can let us come out and install it on the wall for you, or whatever that looks like to you to make your new living room look great. That was almost her entire wall, and that's the way we roll. So in the world of that, all of these flat panels are going to to be smart panels. What that means is with internet, you'll be able to do YouTube TV, you'll be able to do Pandora, you can even do Facebook, you can do anything from Netflix to Hulu. All that stuff is going to be built into all of these TVs. You can't hardly buy one without it anymore. Now, a lot of people will ask us, how do I figure out what I need in my house? Well, there's my phone number. The idea behind my phone number is I will come out, or I'll send one of my brainiacs out there, and we'll figure out what fits size-wise. We'll figure out what kind of sounds you need. We'll figure out what kind of budget you're on, and then the technicians will come do what the technicians do. As you're seeing right now, we do a lot of outdoor venues. I just did a beautiful fireplace out on Lake Tobosoffke that has this articulating arm, and he had this really cool chandelier up there. It's just absolutely perfect. And you'll see cutaways right now, just different TVs. I just did 2 houses up at Lake Oconee, and they did an outdoor TV and an indoor TV. We did a frame TV in the living room with artwork up on there from Samsung. And finishing off with this, how we started this on flat panels is, this is an important part of what you do. And if you're not a flat panel person, you're a music person, that's another important, but we do all of that. Again, there's my phone number. The estimate is free, which means I will come to you no matter what. I literally just ended up in South Carolina doing an estimate. They had paid nothing for the bid, and we're going to end up doing their entire house here in the next month or so. So again, there's the phone number. Call me, and we will get your AV, which means audio video, on. This is what we do. 2024 Mercedes AMG C-Class. I'm letting you look. This is the brand new everything from them, and I'm excited because this car has 162 miles on it. 162 miles, no tag, no. He didn't even said the EQ in the radio yet when we got it, but he said, I've always had bass. I must have bass. That is where we come in. So AMG, Mercedes, and Ken's. Here we go. Now, this obviously can't be funkied with. And then we've got the, this has their factory touchscreen. This has their Burmeister sounds, but it doesn't have factory subs. They have what they call subs, but not like subs. He wanted 2 10s or 2 12s if they would fit. Yes, we made 2 12s fit. We have an amplifier, which you're seeing the cutaway of right now, behind the seat. A subwoofer box that we built as small as we possibly could and get P312s in it. There's an adapter you're seeing the cutaway of right now that goes down into that floorboard, which is where the factory amplifier is, so we can cut in. The blessing of this is we can pull all of this out and nothing has been modified in this factory 2024 AMG C-Class. That's so fun to say that. Now, as a demo, you got to hear this. This is complete, it's old school song bass. Listen to this bass. You got a bass knob. I get more bass. Oh my God. It's perfect. The high. Stop. Oh, damn, wiggle with it. 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 I wish that you could have heard this before we put the bass in. It sounded okay, but not even close to where we are with the concert series sound now. Now, you got to see where the magic happens. I'll meet you back there quickly. Now, when you go around here, I just want to show you one thing that's very important, and that is that right there. That little mama right there says a lot. This is, I love the matte color. I love the carbon fiber. This is a true performance sedan, and bada bing, bada bang. Ta-da! This is where Ken's comes in. So he still want to be able to get into a spare tire compartment, and we would need to be able to remove the box if we need to. But this is the smallest enclosure you can make for a Rockford Fosgate 2,000 watt 12-inch subwoofer setup. We have a 1,200 watt amp on bass, like I said, that's behind the seat, and all this is compressed into here. They have not put a hole or any screws or anything. Everything is compression fit. So if you ever did want to go back to stock, nothing was modified on this 2024 Mercedes C-Class. This is also so performance car, performance sound, and Ken's. This is what we do. All right, here we are in summer, and everybody likes some outdoor sound in the summer. And we do a lot of the surface mount speakers like that. We do a lot of the rock speakers, and a lot of you're probably seeing a cutaway of the pool speakers, the ones that flush down into the ground. And that's what we do. We'll come out and evaluate that for you, whether you're doing a big kitchen or an outdoor barbecue area or however you're doing that. We want to make those things happen. Anywhere from the Klipsch world to the Yamaha world, all the new Klipsch speakers have come out. We talked about those as well. The idea is my phone number's right here. Me or Kurt, one of the guys will come out and evaluate what's best for you, because we love doing outdoor sound. Now, here's a different little level of outdoor sound. Well, just recently we were down in Soperton, down in Trutland County, and we got to do their football field right before their graduation. I'm just going to do a little cutaway right now, give you an idea how this microphone, matter of fact, let me cut away to the microphone. Look how far this microphone is from the press box. Check this out.
Check, check, check. Check 1, 2. Check, check, check.
You see what I'm talking about? I mean, that's a football field by itself where he was. Now, how does it sound? Well, we put in the PV Outdoor, called the Impulse Series speakers, and they wanted to have 2 on the front and 2 on the side so they could cover the whole bleacher area and some of the visitors area. You need to hear this. Check this out.
Into the city and you and I can both get jobs. Finally see what it means to be living.
And see, the idea behind that is, again, my phone number, they called me and I went out there, we discussed budget, then we just started a timeline. They actually called me like on a Monday and they needed it like by a Friday. So it was like a 911 thing. So I was scrambling to get everything done because their graduation was coming up. But the blessing of that is what we do. We are an on-site service company. And the idea is they had a budget, we were under budget. They had a timeline, we hit the timeline. At the end of the day, we taught them how to use it and graduation was a success. And then there's my phone number. The estimate is free. No matter what your outdoor jam is, we got you. This is what we do. All right, in the world of churches, you know, we do a lot of churches. I'm so very grateful. We have our own church team. We have about 9 guys that do on the install side of this. But the blessing of this, we do small churches, which, you know, the majority of all churches have 50 to 60 members. And I know what that looks like. I'm in a small church myself with Heritage United Methodist here in Macon. But the blessing of that is we do large-scale churches. You've seen us do that over the years, and you need to see this. First Methodist Church in Dublin, Georgia. This is a beautiful, beautiful campus, and it's going to be amazing. You need to see what we did there. Check this out. Awesome. All right, we are at Dublin, First Methodist Church in Dublin, Georgia, and they called upon us to come in and to get them up to snuff, if that makes sense, get their technology in place. So you had to have digital sound, which we're going to go over, digital video, which we're going to go over, have to have robotics for your streaming, for your Facebook, if you go to YouTube or however you're doing that. And what they wanted to have is, they wanted to have a fellowship hall with a full digital system all the way throughout to be able to Zoom whatever they want. They wanted their sanctuary, which is very traditional, 150-year-old building, to have all the same creature comforts and everything in place so they can modernize the way they do their worship. And they wanted to control it from one area, which is an edit room, which right now I'm sure you see in a cutaway, the edit room. The edit room allows them to control the robotic cameras in one area, the robotic cameras in the other, so fellowship hall and sanctuary, and be able to stream out to whoever they want to stream to from the edit room. It's absolute genius and it's perfect. My son Cooper did the programming in there and it's awesome. Another thing they wanted is they wanted audio video throughout the church. So there's multiple flat panels throughout the church. I'm seeing a cutaway right now, even a rolling cart, this portal that allows them to send messages out like a rolling bulletin, or to be able to actually see the live service throughout the church. In the world of sound, come this way right here, we have the new JBL. Now JBL makes a bunch of different series of speakers. This is their line array speaker. That speaker is almost 6 foot tall with 5,000 watts of power. We also have subwoofers in there, and it has about 36 drivers. Those are speakers in each line array, and their line arrays means that they have beveled edges that allows you to make the beam wide or narrow, because you got to fill this entire sanctuary with sound. And this is just perfection. Before we go to the sound demo, I just want to let you know we have subwoofers and all. There was a cluster right up there. I'm sure you see in the cutaway now on the left as my son was in it. We had to remove that cluster from the ceiling, which was a feat all by itself, 30 feet in the air. It was just completely and utterly dangerous. I just put it out there. But we got it done and it's just beautiful. Now, sound demo. Let me give you a sound demo. Give you an idea what you're dealing with. It's amazing. Best sounding sanctuary I've heard. That is absolutely incredible. Now, that was just a small demo. We went short on you because I got so much more to show you. But that takes care of that. Now, up here in the choir loft, this is kind of a smaller version of that same series called CD series. And this allows them to have sound up here without a bunch of reverb on that area. This gives us sound here. Now, again, I've got to be able to hear what they're hearing. It's just incredible. I don't even know if you can hear them. I mean, it's directly at me, but it's not bouncing around. That's so perfect. Now, as far as control, I'm sure you've seen a cutaway of the IT room that we did, and that has the racks in there where we can be able to service the digital snakes and all the microphones and the amplifiers, and it's all tucked in a closet back there to keep it simple. Back in the booth back there, we have a 64-channel Allen and Heath digital mixer that gives them all the control. Shure SLX microphones, which gives you plenty of sound. That sounds incredible. All right, on the side of video, they are a traditional, very traditional setting, so they do not want screens on the wall. So we're firing onto the wall. So we have laser projectors up here on the ceiling. The idea behind using a laser is you don't have lamps and filters and all that maintenance. Full HD, and again, you see that they're tucked in behind it to keep the traditional setting. And if you don't have anything on the screen, it's just the wall. It's not a screen itself. So with a laser projector, you can get the image that you want. I mean, look how crystal clear that is. They're using ProPresenter, which we do the ProPresenter and the training for ProPresenter as well. So this is just awesome. And then back here you see our robotics. Now in the world of streaming, we use PTZ optics. You have a camera there, and you have a camera there. You go with a building that's 150 years old. So it's important to, how do I get the wires? How do I tuck them in? Where do I need to use conduit? How can I not use conduit? No matter what, if you look around this, we have a fully traditional setting. No wires or anything's hanging out, and everything is just spot on the money. I'm so thankful that they chose us to take care of them at Dublin First Methodist. And the blessing of this phone number is I will come out and design the system at no charge to you. We'll get it all in place. And once we get it installed, which this was a 5-day installation with a full crew to get everything in place. So hundreds of hours to make it all happen. And then now we're fixing to do our first on-site training. And guess what? Our on-site training is unlimited because that is what we do. Best brands, absolutely. Churches, that is exactly what we do. And do you know where we're rolling on this? This is what we do. They said they did business with us because of our reputation, which I'm so grateful for, to be able to do work for you. And then they said that you were turnkey. You did everything from the lift to the power to the carpentry to the installation to the training. That's what we do. Again, there's my phone number. I specifically come to every single church we do. I do that on purpose to make sure that me and you get your church serving God as fully as we possibly can. And that's all about the technology as well. This is what we do. Thank you. I'm so grateful for you taking the time to watch this infomercial, and we've been doing it for so many years. Matter of fact, the gentleman that's filming right now, this is his second time with me, and he's already been here a decade with us. And we do 13 shows a year, and it's such a blessing for us to be able to show this, to show you what you allow us to do, if that makes sense. We have social media. There's our social media that comes up right there. This allows you to see us on Facebook and on Instagram and on YouTube, and we're constantly updating those, and this will give you ideas. They'll give us your ideas that we put out there on social media to give people other ideas. I did an entire house on other people's ideas at one time, and it's a blessing. That part of social media is a blessing. Now, the phone numbers. Here's the phone numbers, my brother and my phone number. The blessing of these two phone numbers is if you need assistance, we want to assist you. We have people that work for us that are way brighter and way smarter and more articulate than we are, and we can get them to come to you and take care of that. If you have some good news about an experience, which I just got 2 different good reviews from somebody, they called me first before they even put it on social media, the good review, and it was something that I got to reward both installers for doing such a great job. I want to know what these folks are doing for you because we train them to think of you first. If you have an experience that wasn't quite as good as you thought it was going to be, I need to know that so that there can be discipline in place and we don't do it again. I want people to get the best they can possibly get from the Jones family. So in Psalm 1, I always end with scripture, and I think this is a blessing. Please hear this, Psalm 139:14. It says, I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. And I think we miss it sometimes. We are children of God. That makes us super special, almost to say royalty. And I think sometimes we beat up on ourselves so bad because of decisions we made in the past. We beat up on ourselves because of whatever. I went through a bad divorce one time, and I beat up on myself for years and years and years. And then one day I was just reminded, God loves me. God loves me. He wants me to repent, obey, love God, and love people. It sounds too easy because it is too easy. We're the only ones that mess it up. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. Come see us at Ken's in Macon and Warner Robins. This is for June. Golly, man. One in Macon and one in Robbins. I'll start for there. Ready, set, go. Audio, video is what we do. This is what we do. Stupid. Cut that. So go. David, splice all that together.